one, go. How's it going, everyone? Mafar here. Welcome to Heliopolis Radio. Today, we've been fortunate to be joined by Bianca Rodriguez. She's the founder of Wounded Healer. She's a best-selling author of the book Impacted Leadership and a certified massage therapist. Without further ado, Bianca, let me hand over to you. Tell us about yourself and what is it that you love to do?
Oh, thank you so much, Mufaru, for having me here at your podcast. What a joy and an honor to be here from literally the other side of the planet. I am here in Florida, USA, and I love my mission. I love what I do. It's so important to love what we do, and I'm very passionate of my mission here. I am a licensed massage therapist for the state of Florida for almost 20 years already. I do many things. I wear many hats, and the more hats I wear, the happier I am, definitely. I love to be a canine massage therapist. I'm a certified canine massage therapist. And yes, our dogs deserve massages too. I'm a holistic life coach. I've been doing life coaching for quite a while. I'm a group fitness instructor for individuals 45 plus of age. I'm a speaker, author, of course, educator, volunteer, mom, wife, friend, colleague. And what an honor it is for me to be able to share my capabilities and my mission with the world. So I'm very thankful for being here.
I guess, just doing a little bit of reading, the wounded healer is quite interesting. You said in order to be able to heal, one must have experienced pain and suffering in their own life and somehow transmutate it in order to help others. So I guess the first question I was just going to ask you, without obviously going too deep, again, it depends on however much you want to speak about the topic, but what is the journey of self-recovery like for you? More specifically, you're a firm believer of using your pain and transforming it into freedom and being able to help others do the same for themselves. So I just wanted to ask, what has that
Yes.
process been like for you in your own life in terms of transmitting some of the hardships and difficulties, if you'd like to share, whatever you're willing to share,
Oh,
that you've
absolutely.
gone through in your own
Absolutely.
life? Yeah.
I am more than willing to share, and thank you so much for that question. Wounded healers, we are individuals that, with our trauma, especially childhood trauma, these very dark seasons in our lives really help us, enables us to help others with their situations. And in my case, specifically, I lived many decades of my life in total silence and shame, low self esteem, low self worth. I was really, really lost in self destructive patterns. And this, when I decided that change was the only way to move on in my life, a big transformation happened. When I was 8 years old, I lost my father in very tragic circumstances.
Mm.
My parents are Puerto Rican. I am Puerto Rican. And my father was an adventurer, a go getter. He was willing to do anything to have abundance, excuse me, and improve the quality of life of himself and his family. He went to New York City in search of the American dream. He really, really conquered the American dream. He was a business owner. He was the owner of the apartment building where we used to live at. I mean, he was like really getting this going on. And tragedy struck many, many years ago, back in the 70s. His life was taken in a armed robbery gone very, very wrong. And then it was totally downhill from there. It was like my life before the death of my father and my life after the death of my father. My mother, my beloved mother, she went down the rabbit hole of depression and she never recovered from it. And then, of course, later in life, we understood where she was coming from. She had chronic, untreated mental illnesses all the way till she was treated at the age of 79. So this was a whole lifetime. All of my natural life, I've been around people with chronic, untreated mental illnesses. And whoever is in this environment, we know that this is a very unstable environment. You don't know what is going to happen next. Here we
Mm.
go again. This was the 70s, and mental illnesses here in the Americas was shh. You don't talk about these things. And in my culture, talking about the dead was shh as well. It was
Mm,
prohibited. You don't talk about that. And an 8-year-old girl in the midst of the an unbelievable loss of her beloved father, I had nowhere to tend to. I felt neglected, abandoned. There was no support. I had to figure out on my own how to grieve the loss of my father.
mm,
And there's many stages of grief, but the most that I felt was being isolated, and I was angry at my father. And I used to ask myself so many times, why did you leave me here with her? Why did
mm,
you leave me here with her? So that grief really kept on going into a very deep rabbit hole of self-destructive patterns. There is research shows and is proven that 2/3 of all children in the planet will have a traumatic experience, whether it is the sudden loss of a loved one, being bullied in school or by family members, and or sexual assault.
mm,
I went to all three of these horrible situations by the time I was 9 years old. So
mm,
you can imagine how much in a dark space I was, very confusing. Very, it was like, wow, well, if everybody is a person here and they throw everything under the rug and under the rug, I guess I will have to throw everything under the rug. Well, my rug kept on growing and growing and growing, and definitely it took me to a pattern of self-destruction, and I was insecure. I thought that my feelings were worth nobody's time, and that's why I kept on quiet. I kept on silence. I am a sexual assault survivor. I was sexually assaulted many times in my life, sexually harassed hundreds of times in my life, and somehow I felt like, well, maybe I am responsible for this because it's happening so much. And no, that was never true. That was never true. Nobody in this world deserves to go through that kind of disrespect and violating their boundaries. And I was violated many times, and somehow in my low self-esteem and my low self-worth, I thought that I was like, okay, I guess I deserve this or something. And this feelings, these emotions of victimhood, me being the victim of the situation over and over and over, led me to a horrible pattern of low self-esteem. I was the rebel without a cause and with a cause as I went into my teenage years. I did a lot of drugs and alcohol in my 20s. I was jumping from person to person. You can see the pattern of destruction right here. I was jumping from person to person looking for something that I can only find within myself. And this pattern lasted for many years until I became a mother. And when I became a mother, no, I didn't give life to my children. They gave me a second chance in turning around my life into something better, because I didn't want them to go through what I have gone through. I mean, the father of my kids, God bless his soul too, rest in peace. We were in a very self-destructive pattern. We were mirroring each other. We were in a household plagued with domestic abuse.
mm,
He was the abuser, I was the abused, I was the abuser, he was the abused, and it was this vicious circle, the vicious, never ending circle of domestic abuse. My kids, their childhood, they grew up around this. And when I saw them, there was one day that I saw them, and this was when I finally left this person. And you could see it in their eyes, their suffering, their pain, being in the middle of a horrible situation that they didn't create, because it was us, the supposed grown-ups, that we created the situation. And I saw them under these circumstances repetitively, redundantly. And I say to myself, wait a minute, I've been in this pattern of violence, neglect, abuse because of my mother's mental illness. One day she will be, oh, don't worry, you're capable of everything. And the other day she will tell me that I was stupid, that I was an idiot. And it was a very horrible pattern that I was repeating again.
Mm.
And I said, well, this generational cycle has to be broken up somehow. And one day, and it takes a lot of suffering, it takes hitting rock bottom to finally learn the lesson and say, am I going to stay here or am I going to go through the other side and finally see the light somehow?
Mm.
One day, my ex-partner, we had a huge fight, and he said, you and your kids can go F yourselves. And that was the moment, that was the last drop that overflew my cup. I grabbed my kids. I had $89 in my purse with a car falling apart into pieces. And I said, I'm not going to spend another minute with this person. I rather sleep in my car with my kids than be with this person anymore. Thank goodness that I didn't have to sleep in my car anywhere. I got a lot of help and support from beautiful angels. Heaven and earth really exists, and angels on earth really do exist too. They are all over the place.
Mm.
And that's when transformation came. That's when change totally happened. That's when I stopped trying to do everything on my own. I stepped into my power. I seek help. I did counseling. I did a lot of reading, many self-help books from Anthony Robbins, Marianne Williamson, Bob Proctor, Carl Jung, Abraham Maslow, oh, you name it. I started reading and reading and reading. This was the time when the internet wasn't that accessible.
Mm.
And and YouTube was hardly starting to be the huge success that it is today. And after that, there was no turning back from that point, definitely. And that's when growth happened. That's when I really took the pieces of my broken heart and mend them back again. That's when I exercise gratitude for the simplest things that I have. That's when I said, thank you, God, because I'm still here today, because I could have been easily another statistic of a man killing his partner and two kids being without parents, because he did death threats and everything. It was really, really bad, our ending. And I could have been easily the statistic of the mother that overdosed and drugs and died and left two kids behind. And I am still here for a reason. And the reason is right here with you,
Mm.
with me,
Mm.
talking to the masses, to as many people as possible about change.
Mm.
Change is a constant. Change is good. There's so many people that are like, oh, I'm not good at change. Change is, I don't relate to change. Change really suck. And no, we are beings of change. From the moment of conception to the moment of our passing, we are changing.
Mm.
We're not all the time the same exact person, because honestly, it would be a very boring life if it was that way. But in this human experience, is changes like sleeping, changes like eating. You don't go without, period. And when these changes, really, I took matters into my hands. Really, I got out of my comfort zone. That's a very important one. And get out of that pattern of abuse, neglect, abandonment that started all the way back when I was 8 years old. I started cutting that pattern from the root up. It's not an easy road, but to heal from trauma, we have to stop running away from trauma. We need to confront trauma in order for us to start the healing process. Is a slow one, by the way. And in my case, it'll keep on taking me for the rest of my life, because it was over 40 years of me in silence. And I broke my silence in the form of a co-authorship. I went big on this one. I said, okay, I'm gonna tell the masses about my story, because maybe it can help someone that is in a similar case than mine, that they grew up with silence. You don't say anything. You
Mm.
shut up. It's not good to say things. It's not good to express your feelings. So definitely that is why I am here today. And this is my mission for the rest of my life, the mission of improving quality of life no matter what age we are. And this is why I'm here.
And just to double it back to your book that you co-authored, obviously, I always ask the generic question, what inspired you to write it? And obviously, you basically you elaborated on that. So thank you. I guess,
Yes, thank you.
what are the core messages for those that do decide to pick up the book? Because I know there are a lot of, not just being, gender specific, but there are a lot of women who are in your particular situation, perhaps that may or are going through the same thing
Mhm.
that you've experienced. So I was going to ask, what are the core messages that you want people who pick up the book to take?
Yes, absolutely. The name of my book is Impact Leadership with Blanca E. Rodriguez. I am available in Amazon Kindle and paperback. And the message from this co-authorship, I did this co-authorship with 29 other co-authors from all over the world, from all walks of life. And we share a similar message. The message of, yes, we go through many dark seasons in this life. And yes, we can make it through the other side with hard work and dedication. This is the most important job that we can do in our lives, is the job on ourselves. And the product and the end goal is improving the quality of life, investing on ourselves. The most important investment that we do is the one on ourselves, because when we invest on our growth, on our healing, on better brain health, on our bodies, it's definitely, it catapults us to a better life, to better environments, to better relationships. Everything will have a ripple effect once we start really having a better relationship with ourselves, because having a relationship with ourselves is the most, for many, for millions of people, for myself as well, it was the hardest thing that I have done in my life, is
Mm,
improving my relationship with myself. Imagine that.
yeah.
It's so easy to have great relationships with others, but how about the relationship with you? How is that going? How
Mm,
about your self-talk? How is that conversation that you have with yourself? Is it one of abuse? Because, oh boy, we can abuse ourselves with our self-talk tremendously. I used to be one of these people that's like, oh my God, I am so stupid. I am so dumb. I am so clumsy. Oh my God, what the hell was I thinking? You stupid bee, you know?
mm,
And definitely the conversations that we have with ourselves, oh, you just need to really watch on your self-talk, because it really can reflect on everything else around
mm,
you. If your self-talk is abusive, well, most likely you're going to have abusive people around you. If your self-talk is about, okay, I'm stepping into my power, I got this is beautiful, life is good, even when life is not so good, because life gets lifing,
mm,
okay,
mm,
life gets lifing a lot, but
mm,
once we step into our power and saying, okay, this is the ups and downs that all of us we have in life, is unavoidable. It doesn't matter how much of a healthy lifestyle overall we have, life really gets lifing. And there are moments when that tide is really low, but there's moments when the tide is really high. And this is why in this lifetime, we need to go with the flow. We need flexibility in our lives. We must be like a palm tree. Palm trees are flexible. Here we have hurricane season every single year. And you can, when a bad hurricane hits, you can see all of those oak trees falling down. Why? Because they're stiff.
mm,
And they will fall from the root out. They fall. The banyan trees, oh, they're gone. But the palm trees, they're all up. Why
mm,
is that? Because of the flexibility, and there can be 5 miles per hour winds, and still the palm tree will go from side to side and not break. So be like a palm tree, be like the ocean. There's the high tide, there's the low tide. There is, it's glassy sometimes, very calm, and then it gets choppier. That is life. the high tide, the low tide, the glassy moments, the calm moments, and of course, a little bit choppy or more choppy. It depends, of course, and the waves. I mean, the wave gets up and it gets down. The surf is up, surf's up. A lot of people go to South Africa for surfing. That much I know from all over the world. But then when the seas are calm, it's a whole different environment. And that is life. That is a fact.
No, thank you. Thank you for your words of wisdom. You gracefully speak about the challenges of life. Again, I always speak with most of the guests that I have on the podcast. With the way social media works, we forget that life is actually life. You know, we see the
That's right.
lifestyles we portray on social media, in movies,
Mm,
and we really want that, especially when you're going through a very tough time and you see
mhm.
other people. You never know what they've gone through to get to where they have. You always see the smile, but you don't know what
That's
it
right.
costs. You don't know what it
That's
costs to
right.
get that smile. So thank you
Mhm.
for candidly sharing that. Um,
Absolutely. Thank
and
you.
I was just gonna ask about massage therapy. Interesting enough. So how did you come to start that journey as a massage therapist? And I guess what brought you to start massage therapy firstly? What are some of the health benefits of it? Um, and then the last question is, in 25 years of being a massage therapist, what has that taught you about the human condition? Everyone who's in the field of healing, whether you're a dietitian, whether you're a physiotherapist, whether you're a psychotherapist,
Mhm.
you learn something about the human condition, whether it's our mind, our body, our emotions. So I was just going to ask you, what have you learned about the human condition in 25 years of massage therapy?
Many, many things. Oh my God, I have had tens of thousands of people that I have worked on. What a blessing of a career I have as a massage therapist till this day. Being a massage therapist, definitely it keeps on challenging me, and it keeps on helping me learn the lesson through many people's eyes, through many people's mindset, definitely. I went to school for massage therapy at age 38. Yeah. And it was one of the biggest blessings in my life. I'm so grateful that I did that, because that was one of the areas of my life that really helped me and pushed me to improve my own quality of life, because I was in an abusive relationship. So when I went to massage therapy school, I wanted to do something different with my life. I wanted to help people, to help others really feel better. That was my mission. I always been a helper all of my life. I helped doing the dishes, I helped with feeding the cat, the dog. I helped. And I was a server for many years as well, travel agent. Oh my God, I did many things that is about helping people in some way or form. I was always interested in something that had to do with physical therapy, something that had to do with helping people in a closer way. And definitely college, universities is not my thing. So I went to massage therapy school because it was only a little bit over a year of going to school. And it's like, okay, that's right down my alley right there. Okay, let's
Mm,
make it fast, quick. I want to get it done and get going with this career. I really, really got so much more than I bargained for. Oh my goodness, it's fantastic. Massage therapy has been around since 3000 BC. It's a very, very ancient practice. It started in China and all the way to the Americas. There's 80 different types of massages around the world. It is very powerful. It's a powerful practice, not only for healing our bodies, but our minds and our souls
mm,
as well. The definition of massage therapy is the manipulation of soft tissue or muscle with the purpose of healing. So here we go with healers.
mm,
Massage alone, one session of massage alone, the stress hormone cortisol, the levels, they go down 31%. The happy chemicals of our bodies, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, the levels of all of these four chemicals in our bodies, they go up by 30%. Massage therapy not only gives you relaxation, it helps tremendous. It's about muscle work. We are not into bone work. We work around the muscle. And this is the important part about muscle mass. Our muscle carries our skeleton, not the other way around. Without muscle mass, the skeleton will fall into pieces. This I learned in school, and I mean, this really stayed in my brain for over 20 years ago that I went to school. And it's very important for us to keep the muscle mass intact.
Mm.
Muscle has weight. Okay, a lot of people, here we go again with the extreme dieters, the people that want to lose weight and want to lose weight. They are not focusing on the fact that when you lose a lot of weight, you lose muscle mass, and it can be a very dangerous situation, especially for people like me that we are aging. So as we age, we keep what we have, especially muscle mass. And an emotional standpoint, massage therapy is really, really powerful because when all of these happy chemicals of the body, the levels are going up, many of my clients, they get vulnerable. And all I need to do is say, so how are you feeling today? And the box opens in an
Mm.
emotional level. A lot of people cry. I
Mm.
have worked on sexual assault survivors like myself, and
Mm.
they start crying. And is a delicate situation, but when the support is there, here we go again. This is why so many people, they stick to their massage therapist, because we develop a bond. And in some cases, we do develop a great relationship, a friendship. I mean, it's a very beautiful practice, and it helps with body, mind, and spirit. When our bodies are in relaxation, there's more better oxygenation to our brains and our muscles. After a massage, the more fluid intake we have, the more water we have after a massage, the better those muscles will rehydrate and the toxins will come
Get
out of our
in.
bodies.
Yes, of
Yes,
course.
the
Yes.
toxins will come out of our bodies. The proper water intake on a daily basis is half your weight in ounces on a daily basis. And when it's hot outside, have all the water you want, because our body temperature regulation comes out into sweat. Okay,
Mm.
that sweat is body temperature regulation here. So the more water that we have, the better off we are, because 75% of what's going on in our brains is water. 75% of our body composition is all fluids. So water is a vital part of having better quality of life. But going back to massage therapy, I have worked on children. I have worked all the way from children to the elderly. With the elderly is a whole different mindset and a different ballgame, because their skin is thinning.
Mm.
So they need something much lighter, and it
Mm.
helps them with more mobility. It helps them with clarity of mind. And then again, if clarity of mind is I mean, massage therapy is very helpful with clarity of mind for all patients. I have had patients that they are post-traumatic stress disorder because of being deployed to Afghanistan and being having
Mm.
very, very traumatic situations up
Mm.
there. I have a patient right now that he is legally a paraplegic. He is a survivor of the Vietnam War. There was a bombing. His whole platoon died. He was the only survivor.
Wow.
I could say like 30% of his body was third degree burns. He was in a ward for 8 months of his life. A very, very powerful
Mm.
story that he has. I help him with keeping himself moving. He's 77 years old now, and he is one of my biggest inspiration
Mm.
into doing what I do, because I am truly helping this man to whatever it is that he has left. He's keeping it through the mode of self care, and massage therapy is a huge part of self care.
Mm.
Self care is the best care. Definitely. And that's why massage therapy is such a powerful practice, because it's not only getting on the table, massage me, okay, I'm leaving. It's
Mm.
so much more than that. It's so much more profound than that. I highly recommend to anybody to have a massage done. Have open communication always with your massage therapist. We are not going to be guessing, because guessing is not a good idea. And something that is very important for the listeners to know: when you go for a massage for the first time, if this massage therapist is not asking many questions, you need to go somewhere else, because this person is operating on automatic, and this person is doing like a one size fits all kind of massage. And no, massage is a very individual job. Everybody has different needs, and the more your massage therapist asks you questions, the more of a safer environment you will be, and the more effective your massage will be. And I love massage therapy, as you can see, and I can go for hours talking about my experiences as a massage therapist. I absolutely love what I do. I just recently, I was working for over 2 years with rehab patients from alcohol abuse and drug abuse. So that was really straight down my alley, because I've been on both sides of the picture, not only as a massage therapist, but I used to be a drug abuser myself. So I really connected with many of these individuals, people that are in every single area of the life, from the homeless ones to the ones in very high places like medical doctors, anesthesiologists, people working in the Pentagon. It doesn't discriminate with anything. This is what addiction does to a lot of people, and I work with thousands of people, and that definitely has been one of the most important missions in my whole massage therapy career, is helping them, because they actually feel much better. They actually see things with a different light now. It's like, wow, hey, massage therapy can really make me feel better, much better than using drugs. So to some is very impactful. To some is like, hey, I feel better, but then they go straight down the rabbit hole. That is, their story. But I have helped tens of thousands of people to feel better at every single session, and I am very honored. And this is like, okay, this is a big deal for me. I don't take it lightly. I take my work is very, very important for me. And as a wounded healer that I am, this is one of the most important things that I do as a wounded healer, is massage therapy, besides everything else that I do. But massage therapy was that rooting that took me directly to what I'm doing today.
Um, really, thank you for sharing that. And I truly respect the passion and high regard that you have for what you do. And more importantly, just the care. I
Mhm.
think a lot of people may have the gift of being able to help, but maybe a lot of the times, as what I've learned, is sometimes your heart isn't in the right place. You have the gifts, but your heart isn't there. And so I think the painful
Right.
experiences that you've had that put your heart in a really good space where people can truly be vulnerable and trust you and not
Mhm.
feel that they'll be exploited. So thank you for sharing that. Um,
Absolutely.
I guess I did want to ask, obviously based in South Africa here, and it's difficult. I know massage therapy is a physical thing, it's an in-person thing. So it's hard to
Mhm.
do that, virtually. But how can people reach out to you? Do you work virtually with other people in terms of maybe coaching,
Yes,
even some courses that you may give on how people can become massage therapists themselves or
absolutely.
have you?
Absolutely.
So I don't know if you'd like to share those details with the audience.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for that. As a holistic life coach that I am, I work with people from all over the world, and this is the beauty of Zoom, that I can help other people from everywhere else. And I am an educator as well, so I can really help people have more clarity of mind when it comes to what are the details of receiving a massage.
Mm,
And I'm a canine massage therapist as well. So I have taught people how to massage their dogs, the simplest forms of massaging the dog, because massage therapy is for us mammals, and our dogs are mammals. Horse massage therapy has been around, and any kind of animal massage therapy has been around since 2700 BC. Actually, this is another very ancient practice.
mm,
And I have taught individuals online on how to massage their dogs. So that is a very powerful thing. But when it comes to massage therapy for humans specifically, that definitely is a person to person. But
Mm.
my holistic life coaching, I definitely do holistic life coaching with people from all over the world. And for our listeners today, I would really love to offer a gift of, hey, come on over. Allow me to give you a powerful coaching experience. And this is complimentary. It's a 1 to 2 hour call. There is no limit on time here. And it's my gift for all of the listeners. And as my token of appreciation and how much I value to be in this podcast with you, Mufaru. So this is something very important that is very dear to my heart. And holistic life coaching, I can do it with people anywhere in the world as long as you have a Zoom account and we have a screen in front of us, a phone screen. Hey, we can do it. Let's make it happen. Don't do like I did for a very long time, people. Don't do it alone. Don't do it alone. There is help out there. There is support out there in a safe, confidential, and non-judgmental environment. That's the most important part.
Thank you so much. And I'll make sure that I do have your social media details. So once the video is
Thank
edited
you.
and published, I'll put the links in so that people can access you.
Of
But
course.
thank you
Thank
for
you so
sharing
much.
that. And obviously, for time's sake, I know it's Saturday morning or evening. Actually, morning that side. Yeah, early in the morning.
Yes.
You have your day and your business that you need to attend to. So I don't want to keep you in too long. The last question I'll
Thank you.
ask is, what are your words of wisdom and advice to the audience tuning in today?
Absolutely. The more informed we are about something, the better it is to understand. That is a fact. Please don't let your past define who you are. Don't let your past define your future. Pick up those tools that are offered to you, that they are all out there, and actually use them. Knowledge is power, but the application of knowledge is the real power.
Mm,
Get out of your comfort zone. Seek change. There's a powerful inspirational speaker. This is old school, of course. His name was Jim Rohn. Jim
mm,
Rohn used to say, life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change.
mm.
Embrace change, and you will see the difference. That's for sure. Those are my words.
That's beautifully said.
Thank
Bianca,
you.
you're a beautiful soul. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for really enlightening me in this podcast. I've definitely learned a lot just from your story, how, not only from your story, but how you've handled it and how you've really used it as a stepping stone to how you help people today. It's very
Thank you.
humbling to know that
Thank you.
there's beauty in service. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for sharing that.
Oh,
And
thank you. Thank you for
yes.
having me, Mufaru. Thank you. This is an honor
It's
for me to be here. Seriously.
it's been
Thank
an
you.
absolute pleasure and wishing you the best, obviously. And yes, for those of you that have tuned in, please don't hesitate to reach out to Bianca. As you can tell from the interview, there's nothing to be afraid of. I know that a lot of us we have stories which are perhaps difficult to share with uh other people that may not be in a space of understanding, but you can tell that Bianca is one of those individuals that has gone through the process. So feel free to reach out to her. And again, Bianca, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much again, Mufaru. Thank you for your wonderful company. You are amazing. Thank you. Keep on doing what you're doing because it's absolutely beautiful.